What's up, party people? Today we're looking at Dekaron Asia's most recent update, which unfortunately seems to be a very strong showcase of the fact that the team has chosen money over their players' happiness, which is very disappointing. I really want to talk about this, guys. I really hope you watch the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so that you don't miss any upcoming content. Let's get this party started. Alright guys, let's delve right into this patch update. Now, first off, I want to say I saw that there was going to be a patch, and it looked at first like they were just going to be doing like a couple bug fixes and like nothing major was going to be added to the game. But unfortunately for us, it was a massive D-Shop update, and I can tell you guys right now that this has upset a lot of players, and I know a lot of people have already quit, and a lot of people are trying to charge back their money, and this is just really disappointing, and I will explain to you why as we go through this. So let's start off with looking at the Moonlight Treasure Random Box that they added for 1500 DKC. Now, it's actually really funny. Right before this update happened, I was actually just about to make a video about how Dekaron Asia is doing a better job with their D-Shop compared to like the Dekaron Global server, and they really were until this update. So, Moonlight Treasure Random Box. So, they are adding a belt, a necklace, and a bracelet. 3 unique items to the game, and they are being added through the D-Shop. And guess what, guys? They are powerful items, and this is going to be a huge issue. Now, if this was released into the game where you could farm it, or, you know, like you had to, or at least if the D-Shop item was cheaper or something, but it's just bad, guys. So let's look at the items, and then we'll talk a little bit more about them. First off, we have a Moonlight Bracelet, then we have the belt and the necklace. You can see the base stats right here, and there is also a set effect. Now, in order to get these items, you have to buy this random box, and the random box will give you one of these 3. And the random box is 1500 DKC, which is approximately 16 bucks or something like that. So if you want to get just one of these items, it's $16. If you want all 3, you're going to be paying, what's that, 48? But the only problem is you're probably not going to get a unique one every time. So if you're trying to buy this on your own, you're going to easily be paying over $60, $70 just to get these items, which is just absolutely ridiculous. And yes, they are tradable in game, but the problem is once again, they're just creating this gap between the paying and the non-playing players. The market is going to be completely controlled by the paying players because they're releasing items, or all the items that release that have value are bought in the D-Shop. It's the same issue with the other server. They are really just following the exact same path, which is what we were hoping wasn't going to happen, but that is what's happening right now, and it's really disappointing. So the Moonlight Bracelet, as you can see, is equipped up to 2, the Moonlight Belt can be equipped up to 1, and the necklace can be equipped up to 4. Why would you make it so you can equip it up to 4? 4. So not only is this a pay-to-win item, but now you need 4 of them. Like, it's just crazy. And I'll go over the stats tonight and I'll tell you why you need 4, but it's just crazy. And it can be upgraded to +9. And the belt's up to +9. At least the bracelets are only up to 5. That's semi-generous, but it's just bad. And the worst thing about this, we'll get to it in a minute, is you don't even upgrade these with the normal talismans. They have unique talismans for upgrading accessories. It's just greedy. It's just D-Shop greed, and it's terrible. So basically, as you enhance them, you can see what the stats are. So, +5 here on the bracelet, you're going to see 4,000 shield recovery, 3% attack, movement speed 1, hit 5, fit, and hit 150. This isn't like crazy strong, but stacked together, I mean, it's going to make you quite a bit stronger in PvP. The belt all the way up is very strong. 160 vit, 6% defense, very good, very good. And now the necklace, giving you 122 vit. So if you stack 4 of those, you are almost at 500 vit, which is going to make you significantly stronger than other people. And it's just very disappointing, guys. This is just very disappointing. I don't know why they didn't implement this like in the game where it can be farmed and then also the random box. That would make a lot of sense, but they didn't. And it's very disappointing. And they do have a statement about that, but I'll be covering that a little bit later. Yeah, so it's just, here we go, guys. Here's the paying players, here's the non-paying players. And before we started, I don't know, we were, pretty close together, right? but it's just growing. It's growing beyond what my screen can even encompass. It's going to grow, and if they keep doing this, it's going to keep happening, and it's just terrible. It's really bad. Now, they also added a belt and bracelet random box. And it's just stuff for the belt, stuff for the bracelet, random box. You get it. They did it on, the global server as well. None of these are super strong, but they are decent, guys. They are decent. They are going to make a difference in a fight. And guess what? You get them in the D shop. They don't drop anywhere in game. You get them in the D shop. Disappointing. Super disappointing. We really hope this server was going to take a different direction, and it hasn't. And here it is, the Craftsman's Blessing chest. There's a whole different item that you use for upgrading your accessories, which is just stupid. It should all be the same thing. All this is a way for them to get you to spend more in the D shop. And it's terrible. Like, I can't even express it. And now, if you didn't think that this could get worse, Premium Wing Exchange Random Box. Now, the only reason that a lot of us hung on with the last wing random box is that the wings weren't so overpowered that they were going to make a big gap in the game, right? Yes, they made you stronger, but it wasn't huge. Look at these wings that they just released. They released wings, and all of them are very strong, and they are much stronger than the wings that were released from before, and it's just terrible. It really stinks. I mean, it's just really disappointing. And not only did they release this random box after a bunch of people spent money on the other random box, but they also added new gems. And guys, look at this. 10k HP gems are now in the game. It's a random item, and it's going to make you significantly stronger than other players if you have an extra 20k HP. I don't know, guys. This is just, it's just a massive disappointment. I just made that dill farming guide the other day, and then I saw this morning, and I knew I was gonna have to make a video, and it's just here we go. It's just following the exact same path as the Dekaron global server, and it's just really disappointing. And they're going to lose a lot of players because the only reason people were playing it is because initially they were following kind of a different model. It just wasn't as pay to win, but it's just going to keep growing as they continue to do stuff like this. And yeah, cool, they're showing off their new pay to win wings. It's like, great, thanks guys. And then they just throw in this Acris event thing again, which I don't know why there aren't just Acris in the game all the time. It seems weird to me that they're like phasing that in and out, but yeah. Big disappointment, guys. Big disappointment. We were all hoping for something better for this server, and this is just, it's very sad. It's very sad. Now, they did make a statement, which I'll show you here on Facebook. They say, there's players who are worried about the new accessory random box, but everyone can get these accessories as the same as others by trading dill, which is ridiculous because these items are selling for like 300, 400, 500 mil, and it's like, yeah, eventually you can farm that dill, but by the time you farm that dill, you're going to release something else in the D shop, so when you buy that, the paying players are still going to be way ahead of all the average players. Now, guys, I don't have an issue with games making money. I don't have an issue with that, but don't you want more people in game? You know, people who spend a ton of money on the game, don't you want to play with more players? And this type of stuff turns off a lot of players because as someone who's casually playing the game, they don't want to have to invest like all this money to be, you know, to be able to compete in the game. And like before this update, we were at a point where I felt like everyone could compete with farming, but now with all this new stuff, man, you spend the money, you get 4 of those new necklaces, you get the belt, you get the bracelets, you get the OP wings, you get the gems. You are going to be on a whole nother level from anyone else in the game, and it's terrible. And it's funny because people commented about how this is BS, and they basically just said this same thing to everyone. They're like, oh, don't worry, you know, you can do it by farming and trading dill, but it's like, guess what? The market is controlled by the people who are buying in the D shop because those are the only items that they are giving value. They're not giving enough value to the items that you farm in game. They're giving it all to the D shop, so they're giving it all to the paying players. And it's just bad for the community. It's bad for the Dekaron community. It's bad for a lot of people who just want to play and enjoy the game, who want the hard work that they put in to be worth the same amount as, you know, worth, you know, the same or if not more than the players who spend money. Like the work you put in should be worth something, but it's getting to a point where it's like no matter how much work you put in, you're going to be behind someone who just shells out money. And that's not fun, guys. It's not fun. And it was the only reason that I wanted to play this server was because it wasn't as pay to win. But with stuff like this, I don't see a reason to play this server. Like, I'm honestly considering whether or not I want to keep leveling or if I even want to keep making content about Dekaron Asia. It's just very disappointing. It's very disappointing. And they say here, in the future, you can find the belt and rings from events, DK Square, NPC, drop, and bosses in higher level maps. It's like, why would you implement that later? Because all you're doing is you're giving everyone, like, you're separating it. You're separating the gap. The gap. I always talk about the gap between the paying and the non-playing players. So by the time that stuff's out and people start farming, the people who already paid for it are just going to be like super strong. And then they're going to release another item that makes them even stronger that you can't farm until later. Like, it's just bad. It's a bad model. And DK Square. I want to talk about DK Square for a second. I think one of the biggest mistakes that Dekaron Asia made was not releasing DK Square from the start. Everyone loves PvP in this game. It's one of the most exciting parts about the game is the fun PvP, and for some reason, they still haven't released DK Square. And now, by the time they release it, it's just going to be dominated by the people who want to open up their wallets. No offense to the people who spend. I'm just saying it's not fun for a lot of the other people who play the game, who put in hard work, but aren't going to be able to compete with someone who pays because of the amount of money they spend. It's just not fun. And because of that, Dekaron is going to have a small player base. And it's very disappointing, guys. This whole thing is very disappointed. I don't know. I know with tonight's maintenance, Dekaron Online is going to be having a class balance. I'll probably cover that or I'm sorry, this will be, I'll be releasing this in the morning, so it'll be the day after. So probably Saturday morning I'll be covering that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. I just really feel like at this point, Godlike Games decided that money was more important than their players being happy. That's what I'm getting from that. And that is the same theme that I've been getting from Dekaron for such a long time. And it's such a shame because this game is such a gem, but all the developers care about is taking our money. And it's very disappointing. Anyway, guys, please tell me what you think about this. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or suggestions, as always, you can leave them in the comments. And until next time, guys, take care.